Welcome to Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. Your Real Money Talks host, Laurel Langmeyer, gets straight to the point about what it actually takes to make money and build lasting wealth in today's changing economic climate. If you're ready to get the financial results you've always dreamed of, keep listening. Real Money Talks is the right place for you. And now here's your host, Laurel Langmeyer.
Hi, this is Laurel, and you are at Real Money Talks, and I am so excited about today's conversation. We're going to talk about how do you stay motivated during tough times. So here's the truth. Times are going to happen, right? Time and the clock is something that you do not get to control. It just goes round and round. So you're really not going to do any time management, and even around motivation, it's self-management. And so I want you to think about the things that get you down, get you up, get you excited, get you motivated, get you moving. See, here's what I would have. I would have you get a piece of paper. I'd get a notepad. Here's the deal about motivation and always just driving forward is, and I want you to write this down, a goal is a dream with a deadline. See, so there's a couple facets in there. Is, do you have a big enough dream? Is what you're doing a mission beyond yourselves? Like here at Live Out Loud, we talk about quality conversations around money. And the truth is, there's very few conversations about money. And those that, are even going on are really, 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 I call them inappropriate. It's very occupational, 1933, still having this mindset that you need to get a job, maximize your 401k. If you're in other countries, maximize your qualified plans. Park your money in financial institutes and hope to God the whole thing works out. What's unfortunate, so unfortunate, is that conversation still is thriving in the world. So my passion, what I'm doing with Live Out Loud, is getting quality conversations in the world that are appropriate to your life, to your checkbook, and really back to before 1933, we were entrepreneurs. We were on the pursuit, always. And so what's happened during all these years, I think, is that the pursuit, the dream, the goal, what's big, because you have to look at the other side and say, darn near everything that's going to be created has been created. So this is about you deciding, what is your purpose here? What are you doing here? I was given this extraordinary gift of money, seeing money, motivating people around money, helping them get evidence, which is, cash in their pocket, helping them become a millionaire. So this is beyond my family. And I think most of you have something you came to the earth to do that is beyond just you and your family household. So you need some time to figure out what is that. And it could be giving back to others. It could be our give back as kids. I don't think people realize we do probably upward of $1 million of teenage scholarships a year. I know in 2015 it was $1.2 million of teenage scholarships to financial literacy where their parents attended our programs and they come for free. So the conversation about money is just a passion. It's has to be there. So when I think about not getting up, in the morning or think about some tough times, you've got to find that goal, that mission that's beyond yourself. Now, that's easier said than done. And some of you, it's going to take a little bit of time. So here's what I'm going to also say. You can't wait for that, epiphany moment for you to get to it. You need to get to it. You need to get motivated every day. So then let's go to the other side, another way to do it. I'm going to give you several structures on how to do it. The number one is always motivating you, getting you up to do the thing, the purpose, the passion, the mission beyond yourself. To get there, though, here's a few other techniques that I've had a lot of my students use, is daily goals, daily revenue producing goals. What's the number you're going to go for on an average, day? Is it $500 a day, $1,000 a day? I teach the kids, if you can do a $50 day on average, you'll make $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. That's a great goal. And for some of you, just achieving these smaller daily goals is going to really create the confidence that you can do this. And it's absolutely essential that you really look at the daily behaviors that you're doing. And are they causing the result that you want in your life? Or is it just busyness? And I think there's a couple places to look, is what are the results you're producing in your life? What's the revenue looking like in your life? And are things around you moving in the direction that you are causing them to do it? See, a lot of people are busy and they do interesting activities, I call them, and there's no result that's on the other side of it. Another technique that's very, very powerful is getting a coach, a mentor, being in a mastermind. Those are really, really powerful. So like I know for a lot of my early career development, I really had powerful accountability coaches. And I've had coaches since I was 17. I don't live a year without one. I don't know anyone that wants to be successful that can live without a coach and someone guiding and instructing, providing opportunities, opening up doors for them, avoiding costly mistakes. I mean, I don't know what your purpose, and your reason of what you want to achieve with a coach, but for me, it's accountability, it's knowledge, it's access, it's door opening, the things I just spoke of. So I think it's critical to get a coach and a mentor and someone who's doing and playing a bigger game, that lives a life that you look at and say, you know what, there's parts of that life. It doesn't have to be all of it, but there's parts of that life that I want. Now, another thing I mentioned was masterminding. Masterminding is getting around people who also hold you accountable. And it's the collective mind is what a mastermind truly is. So you don't have to know everything, but using their energy to affect your energy. Bob Proctor said it best, and I've always used this saying since I worked with him, is I'm going to believe in you until you believe in you. And so get around the people that can mastermind, that they're going to believe in you. They're going to believe in your business or your idea or your hobby or the thing you're doing, the goals that you're wanting to achieve. And that they also hold accountability and they hold space, I call it, that you're going to show up in that and you're going to be amazing. So what you don't want are people that are around you that are naysayers and negative. And man, you've all heard that before. But when are you going to take it serious and clean up the people in your life? Like truly clean up and like weed out the people in your life that are absolutely negative. They don't support what you're doing. They always have an opinion. There's just interesting energies that aren't supporting you at all. Now, the last big tip I'm going to give you is what I call a gap. So another way that I know to help you get motivation is to help you create a gap in your life. So to do that, you have to do a quick assessment. And there's 8 areas of your life that I'd have you look at. I'd have you look at your money, because that's the one I'd talk about. I'd have you look at your personal development, your personal growth inside of that. I would have you look at your physical space. I would have you look at your health, your spirituality, your friends, your fun, your family, your significant relationships. So if you look at those areas of your life and you say, so where am I honestly today? Like, where am I honestly today? And then where do I want to be? And set, a year, 2 year. I wouldn't go more than 3 years. The times change. We're moving in a very, very different pace and opportunities. That 5 to 10 year goal setting, I think it's way, way, way too long. There's too much unpredictability that could affect your goals. So let's just do a year, maybe 2 years. If you really want to bring that in shorter, I do what I call 120-day plans. So I chunk the year into 3 big sections. So about every 3 to 4 months, you want to be looking at this. And what happens when you look at yourself, like from that perspective, you say, so where am I now? This is my baseline. And what is it that I want? And there's a gap that you will see between what it is you have and what it is you want. And that gap provides motivation as long as you're very truthful in it. Because you can say, well, I'm here now, absolutely intolerable. Now, there's probably areas of your life in all those categories that I spoke of that are actually great, right? They're probably great areas of your life and you're doing amazing things in those, but it's not all areas. So for you in tough times, right? Whether it's an economic time, it could be in a significant relationship and you're going through a tough time. It could be in your own spiritual growth and you're going through a tough time. You may have health issues going through a tough time. That gap, though, done properly, causes motivation for you to get up and get moving. Now, you surround that with a coach that you have access to. You surround that with a mastermind. You surround that with setting daily achievable goals. And you layer on top of all of that this mission beyond yourself and your purpose and passion beyond yourself. You're going to get motivated. I just know you're going to get motivated. So I want you to write down a plan. What are you going to do from this podcast? What are you going to do from this Real Money Talk about getting your life to the areas that you want to get your life? What's going to have you get up every morning and do it? And then the other, places I want to look is give yourself permission to just take some time off. Now, I'm not talking go sit down for days and days, but for some people, you run in an extraordinary pace. And it's okay just to take a day off. It's okay to go out with some friends, and I'm talking accountable friends, and spend that time just being away from the thinking of, I'm not motivated. Because remember, whatever you give attention to, time to, right? I'm not motivated. It's tough. All that negative conversation, the more it's going to strengthen. So just like any other muscle, you've got to strengthen what you want to strengthen, which by giving it attention and repetition will strengthen. And you have to atrophy that you don't want. And that gives it no attention. And I really want you to use that technique. It's helped thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people of atrophy, the very thing that is causing you the negative, what you don't have, and give a lot of strength, repetition, and discipline to that, what you do have. Just success alone, achievement alone will be motivating for you. You'll be able to get up, you'll be able to get going and move it forward. Now, the last principle I'm going to talk about really quick here is called the RALT principle. I made this up years and years ago, but it's results, action, language, and thinking. So a lot of people approach mindset changes by studying your thinking. Now, that's interesting, but no one else can get inside your head. So I've changed the way that I teach people how to shift your mindset, shift your motivation, and shift a lot of that. And it starts with the end in mind. What is the result that you want to cause or create in your life? Then you move to the action that is going to line up. And this is where I think, and I'm going to speak to my coaching and the way that I look at that. It's very, very, very tactical, very, very, very specific. These aren't casual actions that cause a result. That it's measurable, it's achievable, and you can feel it, you can see it. It's so critical. Then you move to what I can see the obvious, which is your language. I always tell people, if I can listen to you for just a few minutes, and I can tell how you think about money, because you're going to be one of those people who speak about what you don't have, speak about the loss, speak about the joint ventures or the people that, didn't perform for you. By the way, that happens all the time to everybody. Even the most successful people in the world have those issues. So, don't think that you're in some, capsule all by yourself, that doesn't occur. And there's strategies to get over that as well. But your language is a complete replication out of your mouth of how you think. And it's so interesting to process based on language. So I've done a lot of linguistic and NLP training, and that's how I can hear the emotion, the energy, and the thinking through your language. And your language does cause action. Sometimes it's incongruent, where your actions actually are doing the right things, but your language patterns are very odd, or vice versa. And then you ultimately see in the result. If you're not getting what you want, you've got to shift something in your life to have what you want. So being motivated is a very internal job. And I think some of the techniques from getting a coach, from getting a mentor, getting a mastermind group, looking at your daily behaviors, really focusing and spending some time in the next 30 days creating what's that mission and passion and purpose beyond yourself. And then watch your language. Give your mastermind folks full permission to give you feedback on your language. And I think you'll see that your thinking, your language, your action, your result will start shifting, and your motivation will be there even in tough times. This is Laura Langmeyer. I hope this was extraordinarily helpful. Put it in your life today, and I'll be back on Real Money Talks again soon. At any time, if you want to ask me a question, engage deeper, go to asklaurel.com, put your name, phone number, and email in there. Tell us the time that's going to work for you, and we will be right back out with you and answering any questions to serve you. Have an amazing day.
Thank you for joining Laurel for this segment of Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. To continue this new conversation and to find free resources to support your wealth creation, visit asklaurel.com/podcast gifts. That's ASKLORAL.com/podcast gifts. Thanks for listening, and join us again soon. New episodes are released every week.